Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sleep like a lot.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generation is the manga, and for anime only fans, this is time for a lot of the content that we talk about here on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you've already hit the like button, because hitting the like button is an easy way to make Himawari smile, and given everything that's happening in Boruto anime, from Kurama going smoke smoke to Sasuke's Rinnegan going poke poke, Himawari needs all the reasons to smile, so hit that like button for Himawari. Getting right into the actual discussion, I want to talk to you guys about Boruto acquiring a fourth chakra nature, so in this case it would be fire release. As a reminder, Boruto currently has wind release, water release, and lightning release, and people have been wondering, will Boruto add a fourth change in chakra nature ever since you had that Boruto ending where I believe for the time slip arc where Boruto was using a fire style change in chakra nature doing that. Well, the thing about this is that I don't think it's crazy to say Boruto gets a fire style change in chakra nature. Now, it should be worth noting that after your primary chakra nature, all the chakra natures you add after that, number one, you have to have an aptitude for it, but also number two, it's worth noting that shinobi who can use all 5 changes in chakra nature, they're extremely rare. They're extremely rare. Now, Konoha has had multiple ninja be able to use all 5 changes in chakra nature, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of time to be able to acquire all 5, and the more chakra natures you begin to add, the more work that goes into being able to learn them and master them. The idea of Boruto getting another change in chakra nature is definitely going to have some of you guys pulling out your hair as you try and make sense out of everything. I'll say that you're definitely not alone, and I have the perfect solution for you, which is Keeps, the sponsor of today's video. Did you know that 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time that they're 35 years old? The best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have hair left, and I know from some of my analytics that 37% of you guys are in the same age range as me, which is 25 to 34, which means that if you're like me and hair loss runs on one side of your family, you're watching the hairline a little bit closely, and that's why Keeps is such a good solution. Keeps offers generic versions of FDA approved medications for hair loss, which makes it more affordable. Keeps treatments typically take between 4 to 6 months to start seeing results, so it's important to act fast. The sooner you start using Keeps, the more hair you can save. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/Naruto Explained or click the link in the description to receive 50% off of your first order. That's Keeps, KEEPS.com/Naruto Explained to receive 50% off of your first order. But with that being said, just want to thank Keeps for sponsoring today's video. Now, I say that to say for Boruto, if he does acquire fire style change in chakra nature, I personally feel like it should be something that he should work towards. Now, I don't think it's crazy that Boruto has an aptitude for fire change in chakra nature, because the fact of the matter is this: fire style change in chakra nature is very common in the land of fire. A little fun fact is, when you look at the land of fire, the land of wind, the land of earth, the land of lightning, the land of water, each of those countries, they get their names just based on the fact that those are the common chakra natures in each of those lands. So that by itself does open up the possibility of that making it sense for Boruto to get that chakra nature. Now, there are other benefits to fire style change in chakra nature. So when you look at fire release, it's almost always something that's going to be used for offensive purposes. So for a character like Boruto who likes to fight up close and personal, adding more long-range jutsu to his arsenal, fire release is something that could work. Now, the idea of Boruto being able to incorporate fire release into his other jutsu, it makes him a very dangerous candidate in terms of anybody that you're going to be fighting, because Boruto could just use a shadow clone as he's using his wind style Rasengan, which is that green Rasengan with those green rings floating around it. When Boruto throws something like that, Boruto using a fire style jutsu via another shadow clone gives you opportunity for a huge whirlwind vortex of fire, a tornado of fire just enveloping the battlefield. So Boruto using those two elements together could lead to some very, very explosive jutsu. Now, there's also the possibility of Boruto learning advanced jutsu like the Ash Cloud Jutsu, which is the jutsu that Asuma uses, where he has that flint inside of his mouth and he sparks that, and then he uses fire style change in chakra nature in order to ignite the flint and the gunpowder that is thrown at the enemy. I think that is something that works there. The other thing is that it makes sense for Boruto to get this fire style change in chakra nature because his direct sensei Konohamaru is from the Sarutobi clan. The Sarutobi clan have a very strong affinity for fire release, and the Sarutobi clan has a hidden jutsu that is specifically passed down to members of that clan that's a very advanced fire release jutsu. So there's a possibility that Boruto could learn something like that. There's also Boruto's other sensei Sasuke, who's a part of the Uchiha clan. The Uchiha clan have a very strong affinity for fire style change in chakra nature, so Sasuke being able to train him in fire release is something that works as well. I think that when you add that and you add in the fact that Naruto as Hokage right now has all 5 changes in chakra nature, so Naruto should be able to train Boruto how to use fire release. He's already trained Kawaki how to use it because Kawaki's been training under Naruto. Kawaki's used fire release against the character Ishiki. So it's one of those things where Boruto learning that, he's got multiple people there who can teach him. Now, what I personally would love to see him do is be able to incorporate fire release into his Rasengan, because I think that Boruto putting fire release in a Rasengan could be absolutely busted, because you're taking a chakra nature that is mostly used for offensive purposes, and then you're incorporating in something like the Rasengan that takes a massive volume of chakra and it takes chakra control to a heightened level, and then you add that chakra nature into it and potentially even compress it down with a fire style compression Rasengan. Boruto, on top of being able to do a lot of damage to a single point with compression Rasengan, could also burn up your insides because the compression Rasengan is going to have fire style in it as well. I think that there's an endless amount of possibilities for Boruto when it comes to this, and I also think that it would be a really good way of having Boruto again continue to follow down the pattern of his sensei, because Sasuke having that fire style change in chakra nature as well as lightning release, I think that Boruto acquiring both of Sasuke's chakra natures on top of what Boruto's already been blessed with, that is something that definitely kind of shows you that Boruto's walking down the great path. And also when it comes to Boruto's own genetics, what I also like about this is the fact that when you look at Boruto's grandparents, there's a fire style change in chakra nature in those characters as well. Because you have to remember, Minato had fire release, wind release, and lightning release. And then when you get to Kushina Uzumaki, Kushina, she only had wind and water. But when you look at it, Boruto, through genetics, his father has fire release, his mother had fire release as a natural affinity, and then Minato also had fire release. So he's got quite the aptitude to potentially learn fire style change in chakra nature. So I would love to see more right there. I would love to see more in this instance. And I would also go a step further and say that I think that if you allow Boruto to start learning these jutsu, it's going to have a higher payoff than Boruto just inheriting all the knowledge that Momoshiki has, because as a reminder, Momoshiki has access to all 5 changes in chakra nature. I think people will be more happy to see Boruto train and acquire another chakra nature opposed to Boruto just getting it once he masters Momoshiki's abilities. However, I will say if you had no problem with Naruto just gaining mastery to all 5 changes in chakra nature and like 7 million Kekkei Genkai after allowing Hagoromo to touch him and give him the 6-pass Sage mode and the 6-pass Senjutsu and the 6-pass Chakra. If you got no problem with Naruto getting all those handouts, then I don't think you should have any problem with Boruto, but that's another video for another day. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Between fire release and earth release, which jutsu do you want to see Boruto gain more? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.